Death, everyone's favorite topic. This video isn't going to be anything scientific or factual, just simply my opinions that I wanted to share. In my life, I felt a lack of people just talking about life, and so I wanted to try to fill that gap a little by making this video. I'm going to break this video up into 3 separate parts. Firstly, and probably briefly, how not to view death. Secondly, how to fear death. And lastly, more of a spiritual way at looking at it. I know the whole God and religion talk can be a little uncomfortable for people, so I'm putting that last in case you would want to skip it. But I think it's and there goes my light. Okay, we should be good now. But I think it's a viewpoint I don't really hear that often, or at least many people don't talk about it, so it may be worth listening to. I don't know. I'm gambling on this video. I don't know if anything will come across clear, but I'm gonna give it a shot. Firstly, how not to fear death. This isn't a step-by-step on how not to fear death overall, just simply how you shouldn't look at it. And that is not to fear it in and of itself. It is happening for sure, or at least it's happened for everyone else, so I'm assuming it's gonna happen to me. And in that certainty, you can find some sort of comfort. For most of our lives, we're in prevent mode, just trying to not let things happen, such as failing out of school, losing a relationship or a job, anything like that. We're constantly trying to hold on to things, so letting something just be as it is comforting in a way. And knowing that every single human being that was, is, and is going to go through that is also comforting. When you have any sort of problem and you find out someone is going through the exact same thing, that worry almost goes away immediately, at least for me. It's easy to focus in on yourself and thinking everything around you is only happening to you, but knowing that this is going to happen to everyone is kind of amazing in a way. And obviously this takes a long time to understand and fully process. I'm only 21, so I obviously don't have it figured out, but I have an idea that this shouldn't be something that I devote a lot of time thinking about or worrying about. Secondly, and the main point of this video, how to fear death. Now some of these points may or may not contradict what I literally just said, but it's death, I can't get it right. So to get the hardest one out of the way, and the one that is most similar to how you should not fear death, is that you will die one day. Your time is very limited and you should understand that, but you should also not fear death itself. Now you could argue that these are the exact same things, but I think there's a very clear distinction. Understanding that your time is limited is understanding that every day is precious and you should take advantage of it. In today's day and age, it's so easy to just waste away a day and not think about it. Obviously, we all need rest days every now and again, but it is so bizarre that we are even alive that to waste away a day seems foolish almost. Now obviously this is a very extreme view just to get a point across, and I don't live my life by it every single day, but understanding how precious each day is very important. And that means whatever goals you have should get started today and not tomorrow, because as cliche as it sounds, tomorrow is not promised. The world could blow up. So knowing that your time is unbelievably limited, you should figure out what's important to you today and make strides to make that thing great every single day. Now these next couple are pretty depressing. My intent is to make them a good thing, and so you should focus on this. So keep that in mind. Number 2 is you will lose others. Similarly to how your time is limited, everyone else's time is also limited. I think this is something you should absolutely fear, because fear initiates action. Again, you shouldn't fear that they will die someday, but the understanding that they are only here for a set number of days should get you to feel like you should outreach to them. I feel like everyone has people in their lives that are unbelievably important to them and that have taught them many lessons, but yet they haven't talked in months or even years. And sometimes there's a reason, but sometimes it's just simply lack of convenience. Either you live too far away or times just haven't matched up. There's the whole idea that someone's only missed when they're gone permanently. The idea that you can never see them ever again hits a little bit harder. But understanding this reality when people are still with you can truly change your action. Even if it's some trivial and forgettable conversation, it's so much better than having the regret of just driving by them when it's too late. So understanding that your time is limited and everyone else's time is limited is key to fearing death. Next is the death process. Just because something is difficult and your time is limited doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. Taking care of yourself is very important, and many times it just gets thrown to the wayside. It can be so easy to just not do anything, and I think one of the main roots of that is we don't see the future benefits of it. And I'll give you an example. My grandma is in her 90s, lives in a 3-story house, walks every single day, cooks for herself, does her own laundry, and she is sharp as a tack. And as I've grown up, I've realized how rare it is to be in your 90s and to be able to do all these things. But it's so clear that she's prioritized her health for so long that she's been able to do all this. So prioritizing yourself in certain aspects of your life is very important. And finally, the heaviest one, the impact of losing yourself. I don't care if you feel like you've hit rock bottom or how far gone you think your life is very special. I lost someone to suicide that I knew for a week, and I still think about it every single day. This happened 8 years ago, and I still think about it to this day. Sometimes it is very easy to just feel invisible, but I feel like we make an impact on more people's lives than we know. And deciding to cut your clock early really makes a hole in this world that can't be filled. And there's so many factors that can lead to something like this, so fearing it and putting that action towards getting help early is something you should absolutely prioritize. And on to the third and final aspect of how to fear death is the spiritual side of it. Now when I say it's a viewpoint that I don't hear too often, it's because everyone's talking about what is to come, what's after death. Now I absolutely viewed this way for years of my life, and it destroyed many aspects of my life. Because what is to come and what is after death falls into what I initially said. It's something we shouldn't fear at all. It is inevitable, and whatever is coming will come. From a Christian standpoint, it says that there's a good afterlife and a bad afterlife, and the good afterlife is good, and the bad afterlife is being separated from God. But what determines that is what we're doing now with this very limited time. Giving thought to what is to come can be fun, but I don't think it's important. Right now is all we have, so we should take care of ourselves, take care of other people, and try to connect to whatever spirituality you assign to.